What's up, folks? Welcome to the lake. We're doing offshore fishing today. We're idling around, man. That's the whole deal when you're gonna be doing some spoon fishing or A-rig fishing, whatever you're doing. You gotta idle. You gotta be patient, you gotta stay behind the wheel and keep idling around until you see what you want to see. A lot of people out here today on the lake. It's kind of misty, overcast. We had some rain coming through yesterday. Air temps are like high 40s, low 50s. So it's comfortable, but it's just a little bit damp out here. So we're all geared up and Ron's behind the wheel here. And we're just, like I said, we're just idling around looking for the right stuff. It's just idle, idle, idle. So we'll show you kind of what we're looking for when we find it. All right, guys, we found a little group. We've been idling for a while.
There's a tree.
We got some fish kind of hanging around it. That's kind of what you're looking for. Got a little group right here.
There we go.
Nice. Good fish?
Yeah, pretty good too. Alright, we ain't skunk. Ain't very big.
They all count.
Spoonfish though. Right in the snout.
Nice. It's fun. Ooh, that's a better one.
A little bit.
Yeah. Nice. Fat. Look how fat that fish is.
Oh yeah, he's been feeding. Look how white he is.
Yeah. Chunky monkey. You get them in the bottom of the lip or the top most of the time, or is it just different every time?
It's just different every time. I think what happens, they eat that spoon. When you set the hook, that spoon's open their mouth and it's just wherever that treble grabs.
Gotcha. It's a nice one.
Pretty good average.
I don't think I'm fishing deep. You know, we're in 25 foot of water, but it just feels normal. You know what I mean? It's got me over that pump.
That's good. Real good.
I used to be like, oh my God, 20 feet of water.
Yeah, it's just catching fish doing a technique. You know, after it just takes a little bit and then it becomes normal.
Yep.
You throwing that 112 plus one, Stunner?
Yeah, I've got one tied on. I'm not as thrilled about that one as much as the regular.
I'm not either. I don't like it.
It doesn't do what it's supposed to do.
It doesn't get down like this.
No, it's basically like throwing the other stun up.
Yep. It seems to spin out on you too a little bit.
Yeah, I think the bill's too narrow.
Yeah, the best deep one that I've found is that KVD, the 300, J300 or whatever. It's the deep diving one.
Yeah.
That one gets down. It gets down there around 11.
He thumped it though.
Big eyes, little body. So that's what crappie looks like. And then you got some bass hanging out right underneath.
That's a good wad of them right there.
It's a decent little amount. Some crappie hanging around.
Put a waypoint on those fish, and we'll go back and fish them. It's a good number of fish. Those are pretty good sized fish too. Cool. We'll catch one of them.
All right, we found our first little pot of fish. Let's see what happens. Double. Double, double. It's been a while, Ron.
At least 3 minutes since that happened.
And I was talking about a double.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Fun.
They're down there.
They're down there. We got them. Not the biggest fish in the lake, but it doesn't matter. It's just like Ron was saying, it's fun to idle, find them, and then set up on them and catch them.
Yep.
Good job, man.
Cool.
Big shad. It's kind of scattered.
Those are probably bass right there. That's a nice group of bass right there. We'll put a waypoint on those.
Just idling around so you can see this creek channel. Just kind of idling along the outside of this creek channel, and there's a bunch of boats out here today. It's pretty crazy. Everybody's got the same ideal. Just hunting and pecking, hunting and pecking.
Yeah.
yeah. Caught a lot of fish this year.
There you go, bud. Spoonage?
Spoonage.
Nice.
On the fall. Saw my line jump.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Saw my line jump.
Good guy.
Little guy. That's fun. He bit it like he was 12 pounds. Here we go. Idling pays off. My hands are cold a little bit. Little guy. All right, we're chasing these fish down. We're waiting for that 3 o'clock dinner bell to ring. It's been kind of tough. You know, we're catching a few, having a good day. It's a lot of fun, but they're just not quite committed to the bait balls yet. And it's just kind of a timing thing. But Ron is going to demonstrate the technique of throwing a spoon. So it's all you, Ron.
All right, buddy. There's definitely a simple way to do this that makes it a lot easier. I was always under the impression you always had to snap it up off the bottom and repeat all the way back to the boat. That'll wear you out. There's a couple of fish. Put it on a spot like here. But what I do, and we're fishing that 25-foot range, as you can see on the graph there. There's a shad. Caught one.
There we go.
That's what we're imitating right there. That's a pretty good example.
No mercy, man.
No. But what you want to do, this bait works better on a long cast. So make a long cast. And then the key, most of the times, let that bait go to the bottom on free spool. And that's important for two reasons. Number one, we're fishing mostly for fish on the bottom. But secondly, if you, in 25 feet of water, if you let that bait pendulum back to the boat, you've really shortened your cast. So you're getting full advantage of your cast by letting it do that. Now, if you do see fish up in the water column, you can engage the reel right away and that'll slow the fall. And then you can take advantage of fish mid-water column. But for on the bottom, get it down the bottom via free spool. And once it's on the bottom, I like to keep my rod tip low and just snap the reel handle a couple turns and then let it go back to the bottom till you have slack line again. Snap the reel, that lifts the spoon up, let the spoon sink till you got slack line, and just repeat that all the way back to the boat. And when they hit it, it's a very distinct thump, almost like a jig bite. And when you get a bite, just let them have it. And then the key with that spoon is, with that spoon, because of that weight and that hook, you want to keep the reel turning and get that fish moving towards you. If you stop the reel handle and start to quote unquote play the fish, that's usually when you'll lose it. And then I'll show you the spoon too. There's a couple little tricks to help land more fish. I was kind of hoping to get a bite. We saw some fish on the grass right there. A lot of times when these fish are lined up, I could have given this little speech or instructional and probably caught a fish. Let me show you the spoon. Nothing fancy, it's just a white flutter spoon. But what I do is I will double split ring the treble hook. And that really helps keep from losing fish. And then I just put a swivel on the front to get rid of the line twist.
So what pound test and what kind of rod and reel and that kind of thing are we talking about?
I prefer 15-pound test. 15-pound test in Vizex or 16-pound test Sunline. Pay attention to your line diameter on that. And that seems to be, it's heavy enough where you can set the hook aggressively into a fish, but it's light enough where you still get your bait down to the bottom. Heavier, if you go too heavy on your line, it takes too long for the bait to get to the bottom. And you want to get this down there to the fish And then when you're on them, I mean, you're trying to get it in, get the fish in, and get it back out as quick as you can. And then on my rod, you want a little tip. I'm throwing a 7.5 3-power, medium heavy. This rod happened to be rated for 12 to 16 pound line. But you don't want to over the power. You need some tip. You don't want to overpower the spoon. You need the lighter tip for casting. And it seems to help setting the hook. You don't want to have too stiff a rod when you set the hook. You'll probably just pull that treble hook out of there.
And a 7 something gear ratio reel, or
this is a basically a 7-to-1 reel.
okay,
So just a standard reel. 6-to-1 would be fine. And then because of the advantage we have with active target or forward-facing sonar, I can tell you that when you snap that reel, that spoon comes up 4 to 7 foot off the bottom, and then flutters back down. Then once I get about 3/4 of the way in, I usually reel it in and start it over again. So, but that's a lot easier than doing this all day long. I can't do that all day.
and when your rod tip is low to the water, when you do get that bite, you got a better shot
You're
at getting
in
the hook in
position.
them. Yeah, you can set that hook.
And you've got, from today, we've got some, Shirley on there somewhere. For some of these spoonfish we caught, you can kind of see the position I was in. I was able to get a really good hook set, which on a long cast, like that, that's I don't know how far that is, but you need to be able to set the hook at that distance.
Right, when you're jerking that rod and your rod tip's way up here and you get a bite, you're not going to get that fish.
Yeah,
you just don't have anywhere to go with moving the line.
Because they won't hold unless they're really, really aggressive. They're not going to hold on to that spoon too long.
And how is the bite usually?
It's a solid thump usually when it's good. Sometimes it's just a tick, kind of like a crappie bite, but it's very distinct. I mean, you'll know it as long as you keep your line tight like that while that spoon is falling in between your reel turns. You will feel it, or you will see your line jump. But 99% of the time you'll feel it. It's not difficult to detect a bite. It's become one of my favorite ways to fish. Gabe's gonna go home tired of idling around this lake from today, but that's what you gotta do. You idle around till you find them, and usually somewhere in the day you're rewarded with a pretty good little stretch of fishing. So
Cool, there you go. A little bit of juice from Uncle Ron. There he is. Right. Yeah. Might be a little better one. There we go. That's a good quality fish. Fun, man. Fun. They're just moving around. They're just really on the move today. Got a little bit of wind, which is helping, but they're scattered, and you just got to keep casting. But good quality fish. That was fun. I just really like catching fish different ways. It's part of my problem is when there's a real solid bite going on something. I do it for a little bit and then I'd go try to find fish a different way, which is stupid.
Forward-facing sonar is awesome, but one thing that'll happen is, there's, as in any types of fishing, there'll be an angle that you need to present your bait at, that for whatever reason that group of fish wants, and that thing will handicap you that way because you get so focused on just looking at them as opposed to getting in position and catching them like you would any other time.
So you find that sometimes if you do just change your angle, you'll get those fish to fire?
Yeah, and not quit worrying about seeing them on that. And we found a group of fish here, but we caught 4 out of it?
Right.
And there was at least 10 or 15 down there, probably more. So we're going to get off the side of them a little different and just see if a different angle will work and not worry about
watching them play around on the bottom like we've been doing. So
I know, man.
yeah.
Technology is awesome.
Addicting.
It is.
Yeah, you see them swimming around. Oh, there's Billy. You know, there's
Yeah.
Susie.
Yeah,
You know,
probably got them named by now.
Yeah, it's so I don't know. We'll see.
A little bit better.
Yeah, chunk. There goes fine. Oh yeah.
Slackline me.
Yeah, baby.
Never made it back down to the bottom. That was a cool bite, guys. So popping that spoon up off the bottom, and you got to watch your line. You know, I kept waiting for my line to hit the bottom, and it never did. That fish was sitting there chewing on that spoon. It takes a lot of hours behind the wheel. Well, I think a lot of it is having the patience to keep going until you find what you're looking for, and knowing what it is. That's been something I've been working on. You find a little bit of something that looks kind of cool, and then you mess around with it for 30 minutes where you should have just kept idling and looking for the right things. Good shad ball right there. You got crappie hanging out. You can see it on the side scan too.
Another group. There's a bunch of shad.
Yeah, there. That's what shad looks like on the side scan right there.
Life is good.
Yeah, that is fun.
Don't ever try it, folks. Never quit.
There he is. On the fall. That was awesome, man. I saw my line jump on that one. Saw my line jump. They're closer. That was fishing pretty close to the boat. Spinning, doing the death spiral. Ah, that was cool. That never gets old. Had a lot of never getting old moments with Uncle Ron. Look at this water temperature, guys. We're basically in January in the Midwest.
And we're not near the power plant.
And we're not near the power plant. 55.8 degrees. It's unheard of. Unheard of. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. There you go, folks. That's what you need to see right there. Those are spoonfish just sitting right there within 5 feet of the bottom. Got bait fish right above them. Ron just made a cast. We just idled and found them. So we're gonna see if we can get some bites. Looks right. You just never know until you make a few casts. Yeah, I think something swiped at it. Yep. Almost double. Should have waited. I'm a little slow. it on the fall, man. It's a cool bite. Spoon extravaganza.
There's a bunch of them.
Good fish. They're definitely bigger in the evening.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, the sizes went up in general. 5-pound smallmouth.
Oh, no kidding, man.
Spoonfish. You know what the next step is, buddy?
Muskies?
No. Spoon smallmouth.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
Imagine a smallmouth is.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's a pleasure fishing with the 10-horse Monty. Catching a few spoonfish. Fish cooperated pretty well. It's a beautiful day. And we'll see you next year.
Sounds good.
All right.
That was a cool bite, guys. Good job, Ron. Here you go, man. Just idling around. We just pulled up on the spot and it looked right. Made a few casts right here before dark. And that's what happens. Good solid fish, man. Good solid fish. Nice. Hey, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Until next time.
Thank you.